Having plaques in your teeth is the worst thing that can happen to your oral hygiene, and that's because when you have plaques in your teeth, it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, and it could lead to adding tartar in your teeth. It could even lead to gum disease because the bacteria begin to eat into your gum, and it could also make you have bad breath, and we don't want that. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you my simple fail-proof method to prevent plaque buildup in my teeth. So the first thing that I do is to establish a routine for my teeth. So I have a morning routine and I have a night routine. This requires discipline because I remember that before I couldn't care less about brushing my teeth in the night. And even when I started it, I was not consistent with it because I didn't fully understand the consequences of going to bed without brushing my teeth. Now, I've come to understand that brushing my teeth in the morning helps me to get fluoride into my teeth and protect my enamel the entire day. While brushing my teeth at night helps me to get out all the dirt from the day one, and also helps me to get fluoride in my teeth that acts as protection for my teeth all through the night. Your teeth is especially prone to plaques during the time of the night because the saliva, which is supposed to act as the security guide in your teeth, has gone to bed. When you're sleeping, you produce little to no saliva, and that makes it easy for plaques to form in your teeth. So brushing twice a day is a non-negotiable. Now let's get into the things that I use for my oral care. So the first thing that I use is a brush. I use the Oraimo electric toothbrush, and I think this is one of the best things that has happened to my teeth in recent times. One thing I like about this electric brush is that it has very soft bristles. Because of that, I'm able to get into every corners of my teeth. The technique to using this is very important. You don't just want to go over your teeth like this. You want to take your toothbrush and go upward. When you're brushing the upper part of your teeth, instead of having your toothbrush in a straight line like this, you want to go like this, upward, all over the teeth in that way. And when you're brushing the down part of your teeth, same technique, just that you want to angle it downward to your gum line, right? And go over there because your gum line is exactly where the plaque forms, and that's exactly where you need to be targeting. So one technique that could work to make sure that you get into every corner of your teeth is that you divide your teeth into 4 parts. So we have 2 sides up, 2 sides down. You brush the inner, the chewing surface, and the outer part. The recommended amount of time for brushing your teeth is 2 minutes. I have a crowded teeth, so because of that, I spend up to 8 minutes. What I do is I use the sensitive that gives me a very softer movement and help me target my crowded area. Because I'm using an electric toothbrush that doesn't come with timer, I set up a timer on my phone. It also doesn't come with a pressure sensor. So what I do is when I brush my teeth, I take my pinky, I put it under, and then I hold my toothbrush just like this with the tip of my fingers. So doing this prevents me from applying pressure because this is like 6,000 movements in like a second. So there's no need for pressure, so I don't destroy my gum lines and cause them to recede. The next thing I'll talk about is the toothpaste. Of course, we're going to use the toothpaste with the toothbrush, but make sure that you get a fluoride toothpaste. I know some people say, oh, fluoride is not good for you. When it gets into your stomach, it's gonna do this, it's gonna do that. Okay, I hear you. From research, you cannot take in enough fluoride from your toothpaste to harm you. And that's exactly why it's recommended for you to use a pea-sized amount of toothpaste. And if you still want to stick with the antiseptic toothpaste, you can invest in a fluoride mouthwash. Just make sure there's fluoride in your routine every day. Another thing that definitely helped me to step up my oral hygiene is the tongue scraper. Oh my god, tongue scraper helps you to really get out all the bacteria on your tongue. I have 3 of them. This is the plastic one. I like this one better because it doesn't store dirt. As against this type, I also use this. You just have to tongue scrape every time you brush your teeth for at least 15 seconds. Let's do a breath test. Make sure you wash your hand before you do this. Just lick the back of your hand, then you let your spit to stay on there for like some time. Let it just dry and then smell it. If you perceive any foul smell, just know that your breath stinks. Another important thing that I use is the floss. Now, ideally, you're supposed to use a string floss. I couldn't get string floss. I got this instead. I'm looking forward to adding a string floss to my routine very soon, but this has been helping my life. I floss every night because plaque takes about 24 hours to form. So we want to be attacking it every single day. I will go in there, I'll cuff it to the left, I'll cuff it to the right, I'll make sure it's hugging my teeth, and then I'll bring it out. I always do this in the bathroom, so I will just run water over it to remove anything. Then I'll go back there and do an up and down motion, and then I'll rinse it again and repeat. I use 4 floss pick per floss section every night because again I divide my teeth into 4 parts and I floss accordingly. Those are the things that I use for my oral health at the moment. Another thing that I do in between the day, every other day, not every day, warm water, I add salt in it, and I just gargle it around my gum for like 1 minute. The reason is because the salt helps to create like an alkaline situation in your teeth, which the bacteria don't like. Once in a month, I use hydrogen peroxide to gargle through my mouth. I use the hydrogen peroxide that they sell in the store. This is the one I use. You can use it as mouthwash according to the description, but it is not advisable for every time use. I only use this to also shake things up once or twice a month. Another thing that I would do every day, every time I finish eating, right, I would always take like water and just swish it around my mouth. Another thing that I always do after eating is to chew gum, especially a sugar-free gum that contains xylitol. I regularly buy the Mentos, this one that contains xylitol, but because the last time I went to get stuff, I couldn't get that. I just bought the strawberry flavor. I chewed the gum for like 5 minutes after eating and I trash it out. Another thing in taking care of our health is to eat less sugar, use straw when we are taking things like Coke, Fanta, all those soda drinks, and even when we are taking things like apple cider vinegar so that we don't wear that on our enamel. One thing I think is very important is for you to drink water frequently all through the day because hydration is good for your overall health, including your oral health. These are basically the things that I do to keep my teeth plaque free, especially as someone that has crowded teeth. If you already have tatters like this in your teeth, you need to visit the dentist so that they can take out all of those adding tartar. You cannot remove them at home by yourself, and please don't try so that you don't hurt your dentin. I don't know if that's the correct English. I'm gonna put it right here on the screen. The truth is, if you already have this adding tartar in your teeth, no amount of brushing, no amount of flossing, no amount of baking soda, no amount of all those things that you see on the internet will take it out. So you need to visit a dentist to sort that out, and then maintenance will work better for you. Now let me scare you a little bit. Tartar is very dangerous. Tartar like this is very dangerous. It could cause a lot of health issues. I think our Poco doctor mentioned it that it could go and block your arteries. Like when you have so much bacteria and stuff, it could go into block your arteries, and you don't want that. Okay, you don't want gum disease where you get to a point where you lose your teeth. You don't want all of that. So visit the dentist. Yes, you. And I'll see you on my next video. Actually, you will see me on my next video. Toodles!